Hi everybody, it's me back again. I seem to be getting drawn to bringing out some of my older decks to showcase at the moment. So I thought at this very moment in time I am being drawn to all things witchy woo, and I have realised that as I look at my decks of cards, I have numerous oracle decks and tarot decks that involve the word witch in some way, shape or form. I felt drawn to bringing out this deck that I bought quite some time ago. I got it mainly as a collector's piece sort of thing, but I have actually used it. So when I got this, I felt absolutely totally drawn to it because of the trees, the names, everything that was involved in this deck absolutely screamed to me that I needed to buy it. So this is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot, and it is by Phyllis Curott, I believe. I apologise, Phyllis, if I've said your name wrong. I'm terrible with names. And it is published by, you might see it there, Hay House. You can see from the box it's been on my shelf for a little while because I used it for a short while, but then popped it away because, as is the way with card readers, we go through phases with our favourite decks, and this is one of my favourites to look at. It's not one of my favourites to use, and I'll explain that in a moment once we get into it. So, gorgeous boxing. When you get it, it arrives in this absolutely stunning box. I'll just move my goddess, she's getting in the way. It arrives in this absolutely gorgeous box with a little piece of poetry on there, magic of feather, song and air, awaken, inspire and make aware, magic of claw, hearth and fire, warm, enliven and inspire. And you can read the rest yourself. You also get a book which you can tell I have flicked through, I have read through, because look at the state of it now where I've looked at it. So much for it being a collector's piece. Nobody would want this after I've finished with it, would they? But you do get this absolutely gorgeous book that is well worth, you know, looking through, because not only do you see some of the gorgeous artwork in it, but when you are looking at the cards, it talks about how to work with the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. So it talks about divination and the messages, but it also talks about the magic that you can do. So it talks about the way that you can use the deck to manifest, make things happen, create your own type of magic. It's also linked to spell casting. It has some example readings, which is lovely. And then when you go through the book, you realise that because this is based in the witchcraft vein, it has air, water, earth and fire as the main four parts of the deck. So we have Ace of Air. When it talks through it, it talks about the wisdom that the card brings, the essence of the message, the counsel that it can give, but then talks about the magic. So how you can use that card as a prompt to create magic, to enliven your own magic within yourself. So it's a gorgeous little book. It's really, really nice. No images, but you can obviously you can obviously pick up the cards and sit with the cards and read the energy from the cards as you're reading up on them. And the same goes for the major cards as well. Slightly different theme to your traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, slightly different names for the cards, but you can still see how they link roughly. So that is the book. It does explain the link to the elements. It explains everything that you would need to know about working with the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. So it is a canny little book. As you can see, well flicked through by me. When you get into the deck, into the pack, you actually get given a bag. You get given your own card bag as well as part of the package, and then you get the cards. So close that box up get that out of the way. Now, this is partly why I haven't used the cards that much, because they are so big in my hands. Not big as in the size of them this way, but they are very wide. And I always joke about me having small hands, but my hands aren't actually that tiny. But you can imagine, you can see shuffling would be, it could be a bit of a challenge for me. And I just feel a little bit awkward with them sometimes. Part of the reason for that thickness is the quality of the cardstock. They are amazing. The cards are so thick and so, the quality is amazing on them. But as you can see, even just picking them up as a pile, I struggle. So they're not the best for me, but anybody who's really, really drawn to them, absolutely get them. I have used them. In the past, what I've done is I've split the deck so that I could shuffle them, and then I've brought the two parts together and just split them and put them into piles. So there's easy ways round the thickness of the the cards when they're all together, due to the quality of the cardstock. But how nice is it to actually get cards that are that thick, that are a decent thickness? So without further ado, let's do this flip through. So these are the majors. So Pilgrim, you'll see lots and lots and lots of different types of symbolism in here. There's so many different things that you can read into in these cards. They are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that, that's beautiful. You can literally almost feel the energy coming out of that card around the healing, around that unification of energy and that drawing of things together. It's gorgeous. And they are a very sort of happy deck. There's a very nice sort of welcoming energy around them. I particularly like this one because it ties it into the Wheel of the Year. Gosh, Council of All Beings, and then that's the end. Then we get on to our minors. So Ace of Earth, what I like is the way that it's the 8 nines of Earth, but the Earth is actually represented by different things as well. So it's lovely that you look at each card and you get something different from it. You're not just looking at the same thing over and over and over again, which sometimes in some decks you can feel a little bit like that. And instead, in the court cards, these have Messenger of Earth, Witch of Earth, Craftsman of Earth, and then Goddess of Earth. And the same runs right the way through the deck. So here we go on to the water cards. Gorgeous little turtles going back to the sea. I love this one, absolutely love this one, because you just see this panther just in the background, just hiding away. And then again for the court cards, Messenger, Witch, Craftsman, and Goddess. I think that's such a powerful image, that about the rebirth and this cocooning and the nurturing and everything. It's just amazing, that image. These are our fire elements. How gorgeous is that? Six of Fire. Look at the power and strength within that one, the fire of the sun coming down, and just all that energy, the colour of the roses, everything. 9 and 10. That's just beautiful, isn't it? It almost makes me think of a Yule time scene, that. So our messenger, our witch, our craftsman, and then our goddess, weaving her own magic. Into the final elements, we've got air. Oops, those two were stuck together then. Look at all them, gorgeous. Messenger, the witch of air, the craftsman of air, and the goddess of air. So those are the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Absolutely beautiful deck. Really, really, really high quality. You can see just from the box they're a lovely quality. They are gorgeous. When you do use them, the energy that is with them is lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Like I say, I'm just not using them at the moment because I've got other favourite decks at the moment, and also the difficulty I have with having only teeny tiny hands, but that is solvable. So anybody who's really drawn to this deck, I cannot recommend it enough. It is a really, really nice quality deck with a gorgeous energy about it. And you know, it's not very often you get decks where you get all this sort of stuff included in it, and there's loads, literally a wealth of information in the book as well that you can take and absorb and do with what you want. So it doesn't just work, the wisdom doesn't just go around the cards, it can trickle into other areas of your life as well, and into other areas of your spiritual practice. So yeah, definitely worth looking at. You do feel like you've got something special when you do have this deck. You do feel like you have got something that is worth keeping and making your own. So that was the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Thank you for watching, and see you again. Bye bye.